The Earth beneath Alaska holds a fiery secret. Mount Spurr, a stratovolcano just 78 miles west of Anchorage, is stirring. As of late May 2025, this colossal peak is not slumbering peacefully. Scientists at the Alaska Volcano Observatory, or AVO, describe it as an elevated state of unrest. This signals that the mountain is communicating, generating noticeable, measurable phenomena. The primary language of this awakening is seismic. Earthquakes, small but persistent, are shaking Mount Spurr. In late May 2025, the frequency of these seismic events has returned to levels seen earlier in March 2025. Approximately 100 distinct events are registered each week. The Alaska Volcano Observatory currently maintains a yellow alert level for Mount Spurr. Yellow signifies that the volcano is exhibiting signs of unrest well above its normal background activity. It is a step up from green, which indicates normal dormant behavior. It is also a step below orange, which suggests an increased likelihood of eruption, and red, which means an eruption is imminent or underway. The recent detection of deep earthquakes, originating many kilometers below the summit, provides compelling evidence that this magmatic system remains very much active. These are the signals that seismometers pick up, painting a picture of a restless giant, its internal pressures building, its future actions uncertain but demanding our full attention. To understand the current situation at Mount Spurr, one must delve into the fundamental processes that govern volcanic behavior. Deep within the Earth, immense heat and pressure melt rock, creating magma. This molten material, less dense than the surrounding solid rock, naturally seeks to ascend. A volcano like Mount Spurr acts as a conduit, a complex plumbing system through which this magma can travel. The journey is not always smooth. As magma forces its way upwards, it encounters immense resistance from the overlying rock strata. This titanic struggle generates the telltale signs of volcanic unrest. The earthquakes currently being recorded at Mount Spurr are a direct consequence of this magmatic ascent. As the buoyant magma pushes upwards, it exerts incredible pressure on the surrounding rock. This pressure can cause the rock to crack, shift, and break. Each crack releases energy in the form of seismic waves, which we detect as earthquakes. These are often small, too faint to be felt by humans without sensitive instruments, but they occur in swarms, providing a continuous commentary on the subterranean drama. The task of interpreting Mount Spurr's subtle and sometimes contradictory signals falls to the dedicated team at the Alaska Volcano Observatory. These researchers and geophysicists are the sentinels, their eyes and instruments constantly trained on the slumbering giant. Their expertise is crucial in translating the raw data into a coherent assessment of risk. Matt Haney, an AVO researcher, offers a sobering perspective. "We're not out of the woods yet, by any means," he stated. "There's still earthquakes happening at Mount Spurr." This simple statement carries significant weight. It reminds us that despite any lulls or ambiguous signals, the underlying processes driving the unrest continue. The magma is still there, still active. The mountain has not yet settled back into a state of quiescence. The official stance from the Alaska Volcano Observatory reflects this cautious optimism mixed with ongoing concern. While they note that the overall likelihood of an eruption is gradually declining, they emphasize that the volcano remains in an elevated state of unrest. The waiting game continues. Mount Spurr is not a newcomer to volcanic activity. Its history is etched in layers of ash and lava. The main summit crater of Mount Spurr, a broad, ice-filled caldera, tells a story of ancient, powerful events. However, this primary edifice has been relatively quiet in recent geological memory. Scientists estimate that the summit itself has not experienced a significant eruption for perhaps 5,000 years. The more recent activity has occurred at a satellite vent known as Crater Peak. Crater Peak last erupted in 1992. This event is still fresh in the memory of many Alaskans, particularly those in Anchorage who experienced its impacts firsthand. Before that, Crater Peak also erupted in 1953. It is from Crater Peak that scientists believe any near-future eruption would most likely originate. Should Mount Spurr awaken from its current restless state and proceed to an eruption, scientists anticipate a scenario largely mirroring the events of 1953 and 1992. These past eruptions from Crater Peak serve as the most reliable templates for what the near future might hold. The primary hazard associated with such an eruption would be volcanic ash. During the explosive phases, immense clouds of ash, rock fragments, and volcanic gases would be ejected forcefully into the atmosphere. Experts suggest these ash plumes could soar to impressive altitudes, potentially reaching as high as 50,000 feet above sea level. At such heights, the ash can be carried vast distances by prevailing winds, posing a significant threat to aviation. For communities in south-central Alaska, including Anchorage, the most direct impact would be ashfall. While the eruptions of 1953 and 1992 did not produce devastatingly thick ash deposits in populated areas, they did result in a measurable coating. Projections suggest that a similar future event could lead to minor ashfall, perhaps up to a quarter-inch across the region. This seemingly small amount of ash can still cause significant disruption. Anchorage, Alaska's most populous city, lies 78 miles east of Mount Spurr. Home to nearly 300,000 people, the city is uncomfortably close to a restless volcano. Any significant activity at Mount Spurr could impact daily life and infrastructure. The recent increase in seismic activity has put many residents on edge. Some are stocking up on essentials like food, water, and N95 masks. The memory of the 1992 ashfall lingers for many longtime Alaskans. The primary threat to Anchorage from a Mount Spurr eruption is volcanic ash. Even a thin layer can wreak havoc on a modern urban environment. Fine ash particles can infiltrate buildings, damage electronics, and pose respiratory hazards. Ash can clog air filters, contaminate water, and short out electrical transformers. Ash-slicked roads reduce traction, and airport closures can cripple transportation. Scientists and officials are providing clear guidance. The message is one of preparedness, not panic. While Anchorage often dominates discussions due to its size, smaller communities closer to Mount Spurr face their own unique set of concerns and are also actively preparing. The rural Dena'ina Athabascan village of Tyonek, for instance, is situated significantly nearer to the volcano than Anchorage. Though population numbers are small, the potential impact of an eruption, particularly heavy ashfall, or even local air quality issues from gases, could be more acute. These communities, often with limited resources compared to a large urban center, rely heavily on local initiative and well-practiced emergency plans to ensure the safety and well-being of their residents. The proactive spirit of these smaller communities is evident in places like the Tabugna School in Tyonek. Students and staff there have reportedly assembled emergency buckets. These kits are a practical example of grassroots preparedness, containing essential items such as masks to protect against ash inhalation, basic first aid supplies, informational materials about volcanic hazards, and snacks. Such initiatives not only provide tangible resources, but also help to educate the younger generation and foster a community-wide culture of readiness. Broader regional authorities are also stepping up their preparedness and communication efforts. The Kenai Peninsula Borough, which lies south and east of Mount Spurr, and could also be affected by ashfall depending on wind patterns, has its own systems in place. The current period of elevated unrest at Mount Spurr, while concerning, is not without precedent in recent decades. The Alaska Volcano Observatory has noted that similar levels of seismic activity and magma intrusion were observed at the volcano between 2004 and 2006. During that multi-year episode, the mountain rumbled, the ground subtly deformed, and magma made its presence known beneath the surface. Yet despite these clear indications of an active magmatic system, Mount Spurr did not ultimately erupt. This historical analog provides a crucial piece of context for the present situation, reminding us that volcanic unrest does not always culminate in an eruption. This earlier period of activity underscores a fundamental truth in volcanology. Most magma intrusions do not lead to eruptions. Magma can move within the Earth's crust, creating earthquakes and causing ground swelling, only to stall, cool, and solidify without ever breaching the surface. The monitoring of Mount Spurr intensified significantly in April 2024, as subtle signs of reawakening began to emerge. By October 2024, the situation had escalated, with the weekly count of earthquakes increasing from an average of around 30 to approximately 125. This marked a clear departure from background levels. The Alaska Volcano Observatory remains the steadfast guardian of Mount Spurr. AVO scientists monitor round-the-clock using seismometers, GPS stations, gas sensors, and satellite imagery. Data flows into their headquarters for analysis to provide timely information about volcanic hazards. The AVO website offers updates, detailed explanations, and answers to FAQs. As of late May 2025, Mount Spurr remains in an elevated state of unrest.